Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the March 26th edition of Carolina Week, campus safety is on all of our minds. One student is taking action.
One group is tired of the trash and pollution. See how they're fighting back.
Does all the hype about the Davidson basketball team extend to its baseball team?
Weathercaster Corey Davis will tell us if the warm weather is here to stay.
All that and some heavy metal on paper. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week. I'm Adam Rue.
And I'm Sarah Huffman. Thank you for joining us.
The student body president usually delivers UNC's State of the University address. UNC Vice President Mike Tarrant delivered this year's address to about 30 members of Student Congress last night because of the tragic death of Eve Carson. The purpose of the annual address is to update faculty, staff, and students about student government's progress. He says that under Carson's leadership, student government has made progress, especially with tuition increases. Do you feel safe walking through campus? There are many ways to protect ourselves, and one that's gaining popularity across the country is more drastic than others.
In the wake of the recent tragic death of student body president Eve Carson, campus safety has become a primary concern for students at UNC. For senior Aaron Stitzel, it's a time to take action.
I went home recently and began the application process for obtaining a concealed weapon permit. Just hit so close to home, being on our campus and knowing that it could be any one of my friends or myself, and just disbelief that something like that could happen.
It's illegal to carry concealed weaponry at UNC, but other traumatic shootings on college campuses such as Northern Illinois and Virginia Tech have students rethinking their safety. Students for Concealed Carry on Campus, or SCCC, is a group that has received national attention for its efforts to push legislation that allows concealed weaponry on college campuses. In February, the UNC chapter of SCCC celebrated a step forward when the North Carolina Student Legislature passed a resolution to support concealed carry on college campuses in North Carolina. If a bill presented by the SCCC about how to implement this process passes at the annual session, it will be in a form that the North Carolina General Assembly can directly debate and vote on. But there are still many students who wouldn't be comfortable with this type of action.
I don't think there's any benefit to it at all whatsoever.
I don't know, I don't think about it. It's just my life. It's regular day-to-day, whatever. It's just when events like the other week happen, you start questioning your safety. So
Utah and Colorado already allow concealed carry on college campuses, and several other states have similar legislation up for discussion. Could North Carolina be next? Stitzel believes that concealed carry could only benefit his safety and the safety of others.
I don't think it would make them worse just because of the processes you have to go through to actually obtain the handgun and be able to carry it in such a way. I think, if anything, it may make them safer. I think it's appropriate to make sure that law-abiding citizens have that right.
The North Carolina Student Legislature's annual assembly is next month, and the group will consider the proposal then. If you were on campus to about noon today, you might have heard a strange sound. The UNC Department of Public Safety tested the new siren alert system.
Attention! This is an alert to Carolina.
The alarm would sound to warn students if there's a dangerous person on campus, a chemical spill, or a tornado. Officials alerted students about the test through emails and the texting system, so most weren't surprised by the noise. Senior Danielle Shapiro heard the alarm in the pit and thinks DPS should set up more of the siren towers.
I feel like they should have one up on North Campus because I don't think people up on North Campus would be able to hear it. The alarm was loud enough, but when the guy was talking after, like to say this is just a test or all clear, you couldn't really understand him, so that could be a little bit clearer.
Siren alerts are becoming more common. NC State tested a similar system during spring break.
The two men charged with Eve Carson's murder were supposed to be in court Monday, but the hearing didn't happen. Attorneys for Demario James Atwater and Lawrence Alvin Lovett Jr. decided not to ask a judge to change the bonds set for the pair. Atwater's being held without bond, while Lovett is in jail in lieu of $3 million bond. Both men are expected to be back in court on Monday to be indicted on first-degree murder charges. Their next possible court date would be in late April. Durham residents are continuing to remember slain Duke graduate student Abjit Mahato. The Religious Coalition for a Nonviolent Durham coordinated a vigil outside the Anderson apartment complex where Mahato was murdered in January. People held candles and heard several members of the community speak about Mahato's life as a student and as a friend. Vigil coordinator Anna Lee Mosley wants participants to not only remember Mahato's life, but also to make a positive impact in Durham.
I want people to take away hope, and I want people to take away the notion that it's within us. You have to internalize what happened and then give back to the community.
About 100 people participated in the vigil, including Duke students and faculty members. Our campus is very conscious of helping protect the environment. Recent efforts have involved water and power conservation, and now students can have an impact beyond campus. Our Monica Gibbs is at the University Power Plant with more. Monica?
Environment North Carolina, an organization that focuses on protecting North Carolina from air and water pollution, is reaching out to students for help. Protecting North Carolina's environment by speaking out and taking action to improve our state's water and air quality is the organization's goal. Waste from landfills, animal farms, and other pollutants threaten our rivers, lakes, and streams. Chris McCallick, Environment North Carolina's Citizen Outreach Director, says students can lend a hand.
But then you can volunteer as a member after that, attending our various workshops that we have, getting involved by writing letters to the editor, to your local papers, or actually getting on the phone with your elected officials to speak your mind.
The organization also says that along with cars, most power plants are a large source of air pollution. However, UNC's cogeneration plant is one of the best of its kind. UNC Energy Services Director Raymond Ubose explains why.
In a coal-fired Duke Energy plant, for example, about 2/3 of the coal of the energy in coal is waste. Only 1/3 of the energy in the coal goes into the production of electricity. It comes out in the form of electricity. In our case, 1/3 is only 1/3 is waste.
UNC's cogeneration plant has won numerous awards from both the EPA and Energy Star.
Monica, what makes UNC's power plant more environmentally friendly than others?
Adam, this plant makes two kinds of energy at once. It makes steam and electricity, so it's twice as efficient.
All right, Monica Gibbs at the University Power Plant, thank you. Well, what if men weren't allowed on the treadmills?
Coming up, we'll tell you what Carolina students think about segregated gyms.